Yeah. Nostalgia.
G'day and happy Easter Sunday. What's Easter all about? Is it about Grug and his first Easter? See a bunch of Easter eggs on the front cover here, and that's a theme that continues with Easter. Although, where does the word Easter come from? It was actually an old Anglo-Saxon goddess. She was called Easter. So, you won't find Easter in the Bible. But again, people like talking about chocolates. Here's Fred Flintstone's chocolate rabbit egg. Yabba dabba doo, Easter. Let's not do that. But no, when I think about Easter, of course I think about Bluey. Dad, Mum, Bluey, bingo. This is the Bluey giant bubble wand. Spaghetti's burlesque genitus. I guess this is to blow bubbles with. Hours of fun. But is that what Easter is really about? Blowing bubbles? I would argue its meaning can be found in the Good News Bible, the Australian edition, of course. If we turn to the back, the New Testament, we'll find out how much chocolate and Fred Flintstones. Although, at least Fred Flintstone is from the Stone Age, so they've got the time frame right. Luke 23, the resurrection. Very early on Sunday morning, the women went to the tomb, carrying the spices they had prepared. Remember that for later. They found the stone rolled away from the entrance to the tomb, so they went in, but they did not find the body of the Lord Jesus. They stood there puzzled about this, when suddenly 2 men in bright, shining clothes stood by them. Full of fear, the women bowed down to the ground as the men said to them, "Why are you looking among the dead for one who is alive? He is not here. He's been raised. Remember what he said to you while he was in Galilee. The Son of Man must be handed over to sinful men, be crucified, and 3 days later rise to life." Then the women remembered the words, returned from the tomb, and told all these things to the 11 disciples and all the rest. Sounds like the Gilligan's Island theme song. And the 11 disciples and all the rest. The women were Mary Magdalene, Joanna, and Mary, the mother of James. So what do we get from this? We could do research into who Joanna was, who these 2 men who suddenly appeared in shining clothes were. Angels. Some even go as far to say it was Moses and Elijah from the Old Testament. But I want to go back to the very beginning. Very early on Sunday morning, the women went to the tomb carrying the spices they had prepared. Nowhere does it talk about chocolate eggs, bluey bubbles, but they do talk about spices, the only edible thing in the passage about Christ's resurrection. So I say we should all have spices today. What's your favorite spice? Mine's Old Spice. But do you know what they called Old Spice back in the Bible times?